All right, and now on the show, it's time for our guests in a pre-recorded interview, which I'm sure a lot of the fans watching live will be very upset about to learn that this one's pre-recorded. But we're
professionals.
We are. We're professionals.
We're fucking professionals, man.
In a professional manner. So
you think Good Morning America is live?
I think it is, actually. Pretty sure.
We're not there yet.
TV magic. It's hard to say. It's really hard to say. Nobody wants to know how the sausage is made, and yet here we are, revealing
making the sausage
right in front of your very eyes. Ugh. Okay. Without further ado, we're going to bring in this week's guest. We got Colin Brittain, who is a longtime friend of ours. We've known for years and have collaborated with on many a song. He produced Last Young Renegade for us, the entire album. And we wrote Wake Up Sunshine, the song, together, which was a key piece of our newest album. So, Colin, let's bring him in.
Let's bring that boy in.
Let's bring him in.
Hey, boy.
Did somebody just call me in? I'm pretty sure.
Oh, Colin.
Colin.
I'm working on my dad jokes.
Hell yeah.
Dude, I have you. So you recently became a daddy. And we'll get into more of this later, but do you feel like when you become a daddy, like the jokes actually just start flowing more freely from you?
I think I'm just less ashamed
to say them.
Yeah, because like they always like kind of. I just think people just ignored me before when I said that, and like now they're just like, "Oh, dude, I got it." Okay.
You don't have to run from it anymore.
Yeah.
You can face.
That's the only difference.
And of course, we have two guests at once this week, which is a new thing for us. We got Nicholas Braun, who is you might know him from the television series Succession on HBO, but he is also a rather talented musician who has been dabbling in quarantine song. So we have him on the show today to talk about that. Let's welcome Nicholas Braun.
Nicholas! Hi.
Hey.
What's up, dude?
Hello, everybody. What's up, dudes?
Thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks for having me here.
You look incredibly well lit.
I'm well lit, yeah. I got a really good lamp right up on my face. And
professional.
This is all thanks to the Best Western lighting program they have here.
Officially sponsored by Best Western.
One overly bright lamp. And that's
like
the room.
It's the repeat customer program. Like if you go enough times, you stack up points, and then eventually they give you a lamp.
Yeah, maybe eventually.
And eventually you just have 20 lamps in your room.
Would you like to redeem your points today, sir? Yes. You get another
for an extra lamp.
Yeah.
Best Western, I feel like should go into like lighting the show Succession. Nick, you should just throw that in the pot. Like
totally,
guys. I know that we got like lighting people, grip people, but. Best Western shit is.
Yeah. How you guys feeling like lighting the scene today? Because all we've got are lamps.
We have
the same size lamp. So do you need 1, 2, or 3?
It can be kind of key. It can be kind of key in like the season 1 of a show when the network's not sure how much money they want to spend on stuff yet and the budget's not quite there. It's like, you have to tap those resources. And thanks to Best Western, we're really set up.
Thanks to the corporate lamp program.
Yeah. All right.
No lamp left behind.
So I have a lot of questions. I'm very excited to have you both on the show today. What I'm really excited about here is that Nick, we've never met, you and I, but I'm really excited that you linked up with Colin to work on what I believe is the best and most accurate quarantine song. If Depeche Mode made a quarantine song that Depeche Mode didn't write. So it's so insanely sick, and I need to know every detail of how this thing came together because it like when I heard about this, I was very, very excited. So please. How did you guys link up? How did you guys get together? I saw, at the beginning of the video for this song, it explains that you reached out to a lot of like people out there in the world, and you had the lyrics, and the concept of the song, but not the music, and people kind of hit you back with a bunch of ideas. So how did that turn into what we see now?
It's been the craziest process. I mean, the fact that this happened, there's no way this could have happened without a pandemic being in existence.
Right.
I mean, this whole thing started with me in seclusion in my friend's guest house. I was a third wheel to this couple, my friends in East LA, and I was like, I don't have a person to go through this with. They get to have each other. They get to work out together, and they get to cook meals together, and they get to love each other and whatever. And I'm alone here in this guest house, and also they don't really want me to go hang out with anybody because I could catch the virus and then pass it through this house, I guess. And which respect, all respect for that.
Yeah, for sure.
And I was like, so what the hell do I do? I can't see anybody, but I also really want to be with somebody. And so this chorus came to mind, which is, do you have the antibodies? Do you want to be with me? Do you have the antibodies? Because if you don't, you better stay away. And screamed in like a very Papa Roach-y, Sum 41, whatever. Like, I was definitely conjuring up that era in that chorus.
Hell yeah.
The angst. And also the longing. Yeah. And so I put it out. I put it on Instagram just as a joke. And I said in the video, like, what's up? Who's that?
Yes.
It's Jacoby from Papa Roach.
Jacoby from Papa Roach.
Holy shit. You're pixelated.
Unrelated.
It's good to see you.
Wait a sec. My mind is blowing up right now.
That was wild.
That was wild.
That was an incredible moment.
You're channeling Papa Roach with the song, and of course he just pops up.
Literally manifested the man himself.
I just conjured him up in real life.
Yeah.
Holy shit. That's going to take some processing.
Whoa.
Okay, I got to move on from that. That's
right?
wild, though. Holy shit.
Can we all just
that is Papa Roach.
Yeah, can we just take 30 minutes to like process what just happened?
Oh my God. Has he heard the song, Colin?
No, not yet. I'm gonna play him after this whole thing.
Okay.
After this whole thing.
This whole thing.
Whatever this is.
Yeah.
So good.
So anyway, I put it up. I was like, if anybody knows, has an instrument, I don't have any instruments. If you want to put some music to this, like change the melody, whatever you want, feel free. And I thought it was sort of a joke, but all these people started sending me versions like instantly. And I got probably, 50 versions that first night, and the next day another 50 versions. And so I put out some more lyrics, and I was like, hey, these are some dumbass lyrics. Anybody want to make some more videos to this? And they did. And then I got a DM from an Atlantic A&R rep, and he was like, hey, I know it's like kind of funny. I've been laughing at your videos, but also your bridge and your second verse are really catchy. Would you want to make this song? And I was like, this is crazy. Like, I can't actually make this song that came out of an Instagram video. But he was like, I've talked to a couple people, and there's this one producer who works with some of the bands that you have sort of, referenced. At one point I mentioned POD, and I think I told him about Papa Roach, and he's like, I have this producer Colin who would be down. So he set us up. We went to the A&R's house, and we had just sort of like a brainstorm, put it together sort of session with Colin, and Colin immediately got it and like came up with some, it sort of started more offspringy, and then I think it turned into more of what it is now, because it was a little bit more like chuggy, like 4 on the floor drum beat, and then it turned into this thing, which is a little bit different. But
yeah, for sure.
I don't know. I'll let Colin talk on that, but it was just, we kind of instantly connected and understood like what we wanted to do with this and how to make it from just like a crazy thought and sort of a joke into an actual produced song.
I love that so much. I think what I love the most about this entire thing is that it's the perfect representation of like the kinds of things that have manifested because of lockdown and quarantine, and the like kind of, it's like it's bordering on madness, but it's also producing some like really genius shit, because
this show alone would not probably exist without the pandemic, and
exactly.
But also like the feeling of going in with a producer and like having a vision and them creating it and knowing exactly what you're talking about is a really important thing when it comes to music, and I'm sure movies and TV as well, but so that's a good feeling.
So Colin, when you got the call and met and talked about this song, like where was your head at with all this, and like how did you approach it? Because to me, like it's so good, like it's so good. It's not a joke, you know what I mean? Like it started as a thing that was kind of funny, but it's like it's too good.
It turned out to, because it was like, so I got a call from, and you know me, dude, like I'm always kind of like juggling like 100 things, you know, and trying to fit it all. And so I had a couple of moments where I was like, you know, I got a call from my friend Chris Martignago, who's an Atlantic out of Nashville, Atlantic A&R out of Nashville, and he introduced me to Nick's, this guy Ian, who's Nick's A&R, and he was kind of told me about it, and I'm like, well, I love the show like so much. You know, and I've worked with actually some other actors as well, like in my past few years, and it's always kind of has been kind of a weird experience, because acting and professional music are just very like, it's just such a different flow, and a lot of times that, you know, when you first get into music, it's kind of like, whoa, shit, I didn't expect it to be like that. Exactly. Right. So I was a little bit like, wow, man, do I want to, because I know this is gonna be a thing, but then it was like definitely posed as a joke. And I watched the video, and I was kind of obsessed with the video. I just kept watching it. I was just like, this is incredible. So when I first met Nick, we of course hit it off, and it was great, and we had a great time. And he was just like, yeah. And I was like, okay, it's supposed to be like a pop punk, like Paramore sort of like throwback joke song. I didn't really think anything else of it. And then, so I did that in a couple hours, you know, and sent it back, and we got back together like a couple days later, and the A&R guy was just like, no, actually, we really want this to be like a legit, like alternative radio release, which of course is like a whole another level of like, you don't just like, you know, spit out like in an hour like an alternative you know, like radio song. Like it's a lot of detail, as you guys know.
Right.
So we basically, I was like, oh shit, okay, I knew that I got myself in. I was like, this is gonna be a thing. So it was a little bit stressful because for a second, because I was like, how are we gonna take this song that's designed to be like an Offspring joke song and then actually make it into, and I don't know, I just did what, you know, we've done a million times, and just sat there in a room and just kind of like listened to some stuff. And I think we kind of took some influence a little bit from like Oliver Tree maybe, and some of that kind of weirder stuff. And I don't know, it's just like I closed my eyes, and then a day later it was like this totally different song. So
that's so sick. Every time I listen to it, I get this like amazing it takes me back to like that it kind of reminds me of that, what's that song? Shout loud, let it all out. It's got that like 80s kind of like sort of goth pop new wave thing going for it, which I enjoy thoroughly.
Nicholas, I was going to ask you, being in the studio and doing this process, was this the first time you've done something like this? Like write a song with a producer? And
I've made some music on my own, and I can produce a bit. You know, I know my way around some softwares, and I can, you know, I've made some stuff, put it on SoundCloud. It's been really low key, and I've not like ever done anything on like a big scale. And and I don't think I've ever worked with somebody in this way where, you know, we were in Colin's studio. He's now changed studios, but we were in his studio in North Hollywood, and it really felt like I was in his zone, and he, you know, I don't know. It was like, you guys have probably been to that studio where you look around and there's just like so many toys, so many things. And, you know, he and I were just kind of like flowing. I do really feel the same thing. Like we kind of had this one day where the whole thing just bloomed. And, you know, I'm looking at all these synths and things. I'm like, oh yeah, we're probably not going to use that. And soon enough, like within 12 hours, he's like used 20 things in this room.
Yep.
And he just like layered and layered and layered and put, you know, I don't know, his ear is amazing. So he would find little things and little, you know, like at one point he was playing a quarter on a cymbal, and I was like, that's crazy. Like, I don't know if that's gonna, and it was like perfect. It was like, it gave an energy. It gave a little like chuggy thing that got you into the pre-chorus. And so this was definitely like the most extensive, like working with a producer thing. And it was just super fun. I mean, it's kind of euphoric, like making a song like this together.
Sure. On the scale of like a super lame, boring producer and like Rick Rubin, like like eccentric wise, like Colin's kind of up closer near Rick Rubin.
I was gonna say that comment about the quarter scraping on something like there. I'm pretty sure on our record that we did together, there's like 4 or 5 songs on the album where most of the percussion is me scratching my beard with the compressor.
Oh yeah,
compressor turned all the way up. It's so gross and so like I can't even listen to certain songs on the record because I know that what I'm hearing is me scratching my beard in the creepiest ASMR way. And
wow,
yeah.
That's crazy.
But that's Colin.
For what part? Like what part in like a little transition moment? You're scratching your beard?
No, like full on like a rhythmic, like to sound like a shaker. So like a but it's like literally me doing this with the mic cranked. It's awful.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's so sick.
And I mean, that's all that stuff is like accidental stuff. You know, you're just sitting there like in between vocal takes and you're doing this thing and we're like,
I rub my face.
Yeah. But you know, like going back to Nick, like I think that like Nick obviously has got, I mean, you were very much involved with all of that stuff, like more than, you know, I work with a lot of people, especially people who haven't like had as much studio experience, and they just kind of like, oh, dude, this is cool, like it's just very different, and just kind of let me do my thing. But like, I really do think Nick was like, the whole time was very much, oh, dude, like very meticulous and very like, oh, dude, like, well, this, can we get this thing better? Or like, hey, what if we tried this little thing? Like, even if you didn't really understand like fully on like a production level of how to achieve that, like you kind of, well, what if the bass kind of made it like the, you know, like, so it was, I felt like it was very collaborative. It wasn't just like,
Hell yeah.
I took it and like did this thing. It was like you were there like the whole time, sort of like, you know, it was definitely a very like wholehearted collaboration thing. It was super fun. So
totally,
we did it.
Totally, me too. Yeah, it was very. I mean, it started in a way that came together, and we probably got like 80% in that first session or two, and then we had like 7 more sessions to get that last 20%. But all those little details, like you just can't let them go. I mean, I don't know what that is in me. Maybe it's like when you film something, it's sort of like then it's just out forever, and there's something about the permanence of making a song, even though it's like, you know, 2 minutes 56 seconds, it's like, it's still like, this will be out there forever. We might as well dial every single thing so that when I listen to it however many times, I love it always, and I'm not like, oh, I should have said that to Colin, like that one thing, we should have fixed that one thing. So you know, it's a fun ass process. I mean, I can't wait to make more.
I was gonna say, like now that you've kind of dabbled in this, you know, obviously, like you said, you've made music before and it's been pretty low key. Like, has this made you want to, you know, explore this space in more of a like pronounced way and like actually release music?
Yeah, I think so. I've been thinking about it a lot since doing this, and I don't exactly know what the next like genre or what the records would feel like, but I do think about it. It was such a like fulfilling process to be in that studio with him and just putting weird thoughts out of your head into music, and like sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but like it felt really good. And I think in this pandemic time, when you're just trying to get stuff out of your head and not live in it, and you're just trying to like actually explore your own head as opposed to avoid it, like it felt really good.
That's awesome, man. I think there's a really good sentiment in that, because we've all, you know, as a population, we've all been going through that, and everyone's been feeling that and experiencing it in their own ways. And so it's really cool to see, you know, these weird ideas that you run away with at like 3 a.m. Actually materialize and become like something that people can enjoy, because then that content becomes something that people are able to consume and it gets them through. You know what I mean? Like you think that it's like, oh, it's just this silly joke idea I came up with, it's whatever, but then you put it out and it catches on and people are like living for this now, and that's awesome.
Totally. So I just got off the phone with somebody. It was just a whatever, doesn't matter. But the person on the phone was like, I don't want to get into the details of
it. Was a murder. I'm covering it up. Shit, I said too much.
I gotta get a good alibi. Shit.
That's why you're in the hotel. You're in the Best Western right now. That explains.
The only reason you stay in the Best Western is when you've just
murder hotel.
Oh God, I've said too much.
You, Nicholas.
It's a Holiday Inn.
Yeah.
It's a DoubleTree. But I was talking to somebody and they were like, I listened to this song with my boyfriend, who I got together with them in the pandemic. Like we met on a Zoom birthday call, and I now we listen to this song, and it's like kind of our anthem. So,
Nice.
you know, this song came out of, like you said, like it came out of thin air. It came probably at 2 a.m. while I'm just driving myself crazy in this guest house, and then it gets to actually be something that people can maybe make out to, or something in their home.
Fuck yeah.
Some love making to this
Some
song.
make out music.
I'm assuming they make out. That's not.
I hope they do.
That's a big
I've heard they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. People do make out still.
We can't prove it, but I think that they do. In my head canon, I like to think that they do.
Yeah. People still
For sure.
mash their faces together for romance.
Yeah, you can. Masks off when it's appropriate. So Colin, you are where currently?
I'm in Temecula, California, which is like just north of San Diego, sort of inland, and it's this little like winery town. And I'm making a record here with some of our friends, Papa Roach, obviously, and then our friend Nick Furlong is here as well.
Oh yeah,
worked with you guys a lot as well. So it's just like it's just sort of like a big hodgepodge. I think everybody was just like, we got to get the fuck out of LA, like get out of the city, and so this is we're just like in this really cool house in the middle of the freaking mountains. And
it's been weird, man. I feel like everybody's kind of at that point now in quarantine where it's like everybody's starting to sort of, in the safest way possible, try to
Get the
escape
fuck out
somewhere.
Yeah.
Everybody that I've been talking to lately is like, oh, I'm in the mountains in Idaho. Like nobody is content with staying home anymore.
No.
And it's weird. It's weird times because obviously, like, you know, we still have to be really careful and safe and look out for each other. But it's like, it's a real thing. You got to get on the road. You got to go stay in a Best Western somewhere in the upper.
Look, you gotta hide out in somebody's boat underneath the cover, and sometimes
Totally.
when the police are looking for you.
I got a question actually. Sorry, Colin. It just came to me. So, Nicholas, we can make music right now. We can do online shows. What, as an actor right now, is it a bit weird? You know, can you guys film stuff? Can you shoot? Can you, like, what can you do in that regard?
Not really. I mean, I've done a bunch of things. You know, the New York theater world, which has gotten crushed pretty hard. They've been doing a lot of things with getting playwrights to write like monologues for people and doing kind of like Zoom readings and things with an audience. You know, like a live Zoom reading and stuff that people get tickets to. Which it's been pretty cool. I mean, I did a great play called The Woods over Zoom. You know, it was super fun, and you're like looking into your screen, and you're like doing your lines. Half your page is lines, and half the page is the person you're trying to have eye contact with through the screen.
Right.
And it's pretty bizarre, but like, I don't know, you can still kind of have some good moments and make it work. But that's about the extent of it. You know, it's just filming on your computer, on your screen, on your phone, and doing some stuff like that. But hopefully, you know, they're starting to get all these protocols together for filming face shields and masks and, you know, tons of protective gear and stuff. So I think Succession is definitely trying to do all that stuff. And it'll probably be a lot of testing and you know, nose swabs and things. But I think we're getting closer.
I mean, that's what we're doing here. Like, I mean, everybody, you know, we locked in the house. Everybody got a test. I know All Time Low, I was seeing you guys were in Nashville or whatever recently, and it's probably the same thing. If you're going to be around a bunch of people, you just get, you know, everybody get tested like a day or two before, and then, you know, hopefully you're good to go.
I would do the nose thing every day if it meant we could go back to like some semblance of normalcy. It's not that bad. Like I'm down. I'm down to get poked and prodded if it means we can kind of get stuff done, you know? It's like, I feel like, you know, getting to do, for us, coming together and getting to do some work was really like, you know, rewarding. And it put us back on like more of an even keel. And I feel like, you know, it'll be interesting to see definitely how productions and studios kind of pick back up. Otherwise, I feel like it's going to be like, everything's going to look like Star Wars Episode 2, where it's literally just everyone on a green screen separately.
No,
actors talking to floating tennis balls. and stuff. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, it's got to be like acting. I can't imagine what that's like. That's got to be even harder than. I mean, I'm sure you guys have tried to do some Zoom sessions or like online sessions, kind of like this, but writing songs.
Yeah.
And there's definitely like some weird, I mean, things get done, but it is a weird adjustment of going.
It takes you out of yourself, man. Like half the time we've done performances, you see like anytime it's live, there's like a chat box by the side with like people commenting and stuff, and I'll be like mid song and literally forget the next line to my own song because the chat box is popping so fast. So I cannot imagine what it has to feel like for you, Nick, like delivering lines into a camera down the. I mean, well, that is acting in. but at the same time, like knowing that it's kind of you're not in your comfort zone, you're not in your normal nest to have to like perform that way. It's got to be a lot of pressure. And
yeah, it actually was weird preparing for that theater reading that I was so nervous like beforehand, like there's something, it's so simple. I'm literally just going to sit in my bathroom and just like have my computer in front of me. And I'm just going to, it's no big deal. But there was something so nerve wracking about a chat room full of hundreds of people that are just going to watch you. And maybe there's something even more vulnerable about like how personal this like static frame is.
Right.
That we're operating within, as opposed to being filmed or being in a theater where it's like I'm moving around and you can see that I'm a normal person because I have a full body. But like this is, you're just like looking just at my face. And if I look nervous, then you'll see it because I can't hide within this frame.
He looks nervous right now.
I don't know. It is nervous.
That was the perfect time to freeze.
Oh, fuck. Did I freeze?
Sorry.
It was really funny, actually, though.
It was incredible. We lost you for a second if I look nervous.
Right. Again. Yeah. But yeah, you can just see everything. So I think it's a very different medium, Zoom acting.
For sure. And before we let you guys get back to your lives, I would be remiss to forget that you are officially now an Emmy-nominated actor. That is so rad, man. Congratulations.
Yes.
Fucking
sick. Let's go.
Let's go. I think we're all big fans of the show. I've been watching. My wife is ahead of me, so I keep yelling at her to not ruin it for me. I mean, dude, congratulations. That's got to feel incredible.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's every job is just kind of another job, and this one just happened to turn out really fucking well, and the writing got better and better, and everybody's good on it, and it's just one of those things where everybody cares a lot about it. Everybody shows up, they're trying really hard, they're bringing lots of ideas. We have great crew, so I don't know, everybody's just helping each other be really good, and I didn't expect to get a nomination. I was like, I'm pretty sure Kieran's going to get one. I'm pretty sure Matthew will get one. I'll be happy for those guys. I feel grateful to be on the show, but to also be included was amazing. I mean, I've been doing this a long time, so to get that.
But you're a lot of people's favorite character, though, that I know. Like people, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, Cousin Greg, it's like that's the, in some ways you're like maybe the most standout character.
A cornerstone.
It's not just because you're freakishly tall, but just also, and handsome. But seriously, like everybody's just like, oh man, that guy. Yeah. So.
Nicholas,
awesome.
I do have to ask you before we go. What's your relationship like? I'm sure everyone asked you, but what's your relationship with Matthew McFadden? Sorry, in real life, is it as
he's such a nice guy. I mean, he's so not like Tommy. He's just such a sweet, great, funny British man. I mean, I think we just enjoy that relationship a lot. So whenever he gets to bully me, we just have a hard time not laughing. It's that's
got to be the hardest part about acting by far. Not laughing at people.
You just have to not enjoy it, like while you're doing it.
You have to just take everything in you and just shut it down.
You take all the enjoyment of like, oh, this is such a fun scene. Oh, this is such a good actor. Oh, and you just kill it. and you just compartmentalize. What does Greg care about? What does Greg think about? But all of me thinking like, this is so fucking fun. I have to dead that completely.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is hard, and I'm not always successful at. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Well, dudes, I'm very happy to hear that you guys are both doing well. It was really nice to check in with you. The song is called Antibodies. Do you have the? Which is my favorite. My favorite title in brackets of all time. Thank you guys for coming on the show. You guys are rad.
Awesome.
I hope you're doing well. Stay healthy, and we'll see you soon. Can't wait to hang.
Appreciate it, guys.
Great talking to you guys. Good to see you all. Much love.
Yeah. See you guys out there.
All right.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace.
That was
great.
wonderful.
Yes.
Handsome gentlemen, talented gentlemen, coming together.
Good friends, but also very talented people.
Yeah, coming together in these weird times
Yeah.
to make cool shit, to make people happy, which is kind of what life's all about right now. So props to them. I'm very stoked. We're going to take a break. When we get back, more Crash Test Live. Bye.
Peace.